And then I finally get led down to the police cells. Guys, I've never seen such in my life, and it's probably why it's the only time I've ever been arrested. That was the day I knew for sure, I am not made for no jail. What? It was horrible.
Follow you. I need you right now.
Guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh, it's been a while. To the new subbies, welcome to the family. To the returning subbies, all the kisses for you guys, you know this. Okay, so guys, it's been a while since I've really recorded anything. I've been going through the most, like, I'm an insomniac, so like sleep does not come easily to me, nor is it easy for me to stay asleep. It's one of those things where if I fall asleep naturally, I can't stay asleep, or I'm like up until really odd hours of the morning and I'm guatiglaleng mini, so it's a nightmare because I don't even get to catch up during the day, you know. So I'm actually recording right now. It's 11 p.m. at night. I had to wait for my daughter to go to sleep. She sleeps with me and she's actually right behind me, guys. Like, this is my life. This is my life. During the day, I have to help my son with school, you know, schoolwork and stuff like that. And I have to somehow find a way to create content. And then when my daughter goes to bed, I need to double up on that time as well before I go to bed. You guys, my life. So anyways, today is story time. Like, I had a drink that I made for myself, you know, as an adult to enjoy while I dish out these stories. Manje, I had put it on the floor, I didn't see it, turned around, knocked it over. It must be a sign because, like, today, I'm gonna tell you guys about that time when I got arrested. Like, yeah. Anyway, so I really shouldn't be talking about alcohol when I am about to tell you guys how I got arrested. Don't judge me. Adulting is rough. I haven't had proper sleep in about 6 weeks, so a little drink isn't gonna do any harm. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna tell you guys about the time I got arrested. So anyways, and this is the stuff that almost killed me, but I put some milk and it's got lots of ice, so it should be okay. So guys, this was like, I'm not sure what year it was, like 2000 something, like it was a while ago. And I was with my other bestie, Pops. I was still staying in Joburg at the time, and I was home on a weekend visit. So I came home and we went straight to Finesse. It's like a club in town, and at the time it was still opposite. I think it used to be Spur, and we met there with Pops, and they had some drinks. I was driving, so I literally had like one drink, and if I remember correctly, at the time it was like I think I had like a Hunter's Dry or something. So anyways, I have my one drink, you know, I'm driving, you know, and I still have to get home later. So then we decide, as drinking people do, hi, let's go to Manzini. Now, first of all, I don't ever really club in Manzini. I don't even know like where were we going, like what was the reason. So anyways, Zvume, and we're like, okay, we're gonna jump into my car. Okay, we jump into my car and then we head over to Matapa. We decide to stop in Matapa to see a friend of ours called Frank. We're driving in and stuff like that. And like, mind you, I've had like one lousy drink. I think I had one drink, and literally we were at Finesse for like maybe 2 or 3 hours before we even left. And I might have had a shot, I can't remember, but like clearly. Anyways, we drive out. There's like a police station not far from what used to be the airport at the time, Matapa. Now it's by some, anyways, there's a police station there called, what's it called again? Escotweni. That's it, Escotweni police station. And like Matapa cops are known for being you know, like they're full of it. You know, they're not the ones that you negotiate with. So anyways, there was a roadblock on that main road leading towards the airport. So the roadblock, okay, they stop us. I think nothing of it. Now, first of all, we are a car full of girls. That's one. Two, these heifers at the back are here. So the car is full up of smoke. It's full of girls having a good time. So this guy stops us and he's like, can you get out of the car? Now, mind you, sis hasn't even been home. I stamped my passport. I'm in the country, but I did not go east. So I still got all my luggage in the boot, like my stuff that I came with. My dad had given me some stuff that I was supposed to take to my grandmother, Epunya, like there was milk, there was all sorts of stuff that I was supposed to take there the next day. At this point, I haven't even been home. Okay, he stops us and he asks us what's in the boot, and I open the boot and I'm like, no, like I just came from Joburg and I'm just like hanging out with my girls. I'm around for a little bit, nyachi and when like the boot is full of my stuff. And then he's like, oh, have you been drinking? Now obviously he's asking because he can see in the car, good see girls are having a good time, you know. And I'm like, no, I haven't. And he's like, well, we're gonna have to do a breathalyzer. So I'm like, okay. I don't panic because I'm also just like, I literally had like one drink. Ooh, English. After 11, my bundles are finished. So anyways, he's like, okay, I'm gonna want to do a breathalyzer. And I'm like, okay, no problem. I mean, I've had like maybe 2 drinks at most, and it's literally been like more than 3 hours even at that point, probably close to 4. This thing, even if it was in my system, excuse me, should have worked itself out by now. Now this is like the old breathalyzer, not the digital one that they have now that has an actual reading. Like you would blow into it and it would change from like green to red or something like that, like if it detected alcohol in your breath. But I later found out, apparently, don't hold me to it, I'm not sure, but somebody told me, it was considered very unreliable at the time, in the sense that like, because it didn't tell you how much alcohol was in your system, like even if you'd had like a lot of caffeine, it would also change the marker from green to red. And Red Bull apparently used to do it, and of course cough mixture too. So what I didn't know is that I had the right to request a blood test so they could actually see how much alcohol is in my system. Is it like a legal amount or whatever? But obviously they took advantage of that. I was very young at the time. And yeah, he basically, as soon as it turned, he was just like, right, we're placing you in the back of the Jeep. To the back of the Jeep I went. Now they have to call Ekaya to try and find someone. Like now it's like probably close to it was like around 10 o'clock when we got stopped by the cops, like a little after 10 p.m. And from 10 p.m. until the following morning, I was held. So my cousin, they called, my mom wasn't in the country at the time. Ekaya, there was like Sisi and my siblings, and I was still working on moving back, but my mom was living overseas at the time. She was living in Kuwait, so she wasn't even in the country. So there was no one to get a hold of at that point in time. And I think they eventually got a hold of one of my mom's sisters, my aunt, and she sent someone over to come and try and speak to the cops. So we eventually get to the police station. Now, first of all, with this roadblock, so many people were stopped that you could see were having a good time. Like it felt honestly like we were targeted, because literally you could see people were rowdy and drunk, but they never once took them in or whatever. Like I was alone in the back of that Jeep, and then they decided, oh, they're shutting down like the whole thing. A whole lot of weird things happened at that police station. That's a whole nother story time. So anyways, we get there, and when we get there, okay, I get booked in. Like now my friends, they're like everyone is trying to talk to this cop who arrested me, and he was just like, he was not having it. Even when we got to the police station, the lady that actually checked me, because they go through your hair, they pat you down, like they check to make sure you got nothing. Guys, does anybody remember jelly shoes? Jelly shoes were these plastic like shoes. They came in different colors. I'm not proud, but they were cute at the time. They were like pumps, plastic pumps. Bad idea, plastic and pump should have known better. But anyways, I was wearing pink ones, I remember, because they made me take them off, and I was now barefoot. Can you imagine being barefoot in an icky police station? Like barefoot, guys, barefoot. Okay, sharp, I'm barefoot. She goes through, she runs her fingers through my hair. She puts her hands in places that only a few people have put them, and okay, she decides there's nothing on me. And then she's like, how's this? When they get me, because like, you don't even look like you should be here. Like, you don't even seem, I can't even smell, like, what's going on? And I was just like, I explained the whole thing, and she was just like, hey, yeah, unfortunately, that cop, like, he's known, like, he's full of it, and there's absolutely nothing that anybody can do. If he's decided to arrest you, that's it. There's nothing you can do. Okay, cool. Yeah, the person my aunt sent over tried to talk to them, and as soon as he got there, they were like, oh, you're trying to manipulate the system, whatever. Ganzi, they had agreed that, okay, you can go, but you're gonna leave the car. You'll come back in the morning to come and fetch the car. So they had agreed that someone can come and fetch me. And then as soon as this guy from my aunt showed up, ooh, kicked off a whole new thing. He was like, oh, now I'm definitely booking you. I felt like he was just looking for an excuse, if I'm honest, but whatever, we move, right? So now I'm behind like the counter. So this lady, she was like, okay, it's cool, you can stay here at the front, like, but you have to be behind this desk. Your friends can sit there and talk to you, and you guys can chill here, but like when the shift changes, you won't be allowed to go, you won't be allowed to stay here. You're gonna have to come out. So this is on a Friday night, and then I finally get led down to the police cells. Guys, I've never seen such in my life, and it's probably why it's the only time I've ever been arrested. That was the day I knew for sure, I am not made for no jail. What? It was horrible. There was like a toilet in the corner that couldn't flush. So basically you did your business in there the whole night until the following morning. Guys, like zero dignity. I was down there, they took me down at 5 o'clock in the morning, or just before 5, at around 4:30, 4:45, they led me down to the holding cells. And when I was down in the holding cells, they gave me some mattress which I could not even touch for the life of me with my body, because am I crazy? I didn't even want to know how many people had been on it. Like, it just, and it stank of pee. It just smelled, dude. Like, you don't even want to get me started on the toilet that was in there. I did as feel like I was given the worst cell that they had. So now at around 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, somebody comes with a bucket, guys. Have you ever seen Star Paint? 10-liter Star Paint bucket? That one. That bucket, Bangani, was full of soft porridge. Indengane, right? Or I think grits, as they would call them in the US. Indengane, guys, full to the brim. And then she's got like those plastic plates, you know, the ones that they use at like functions, like, you know, like traditional functions, those plastic ones. Scooping. So you take your plate or your foam pack or whatever, and then she scoops the ndengane from the bucket, the 10-liter Star Paint bucket, and slop it onto the. I said, no thank you. Right after she leaves, a guy with a hose pipe comes. That hose pipe fills up the tank of the toilet that you would have supposedly been using the whole night, and only then can you flush the toilet. Can you imagine? So from 10 o'clock at night when I got picked up until the following day at 12, bing bam boom kam, because there was no way that I was ever going to touch or go anywhere near. Like, I'm actually like convinced I did permanent damage to my bladder, guys, on that day, because I went through the most. I used the toilet when I got home. Luckily, because I had driven from like Joburg to Swaziland, like pretty much without stopping, and I'd had like that 1 or 2 drinks, but I hadn't really like settled, and I had used the bathroom at my friend's house in Matapa right before we left. So like I was okay in terms of that, but like still, even if you're holding the smallest amount of pee, like holding your pee, guys, like but anyways, So the following morning, then at about 10, we were supposed to show up at the magistrate's court. And this is where I'm really, really boggled about, like, where is the safety for women in these situations? So we get led out probably like an hour after the hosepipe guy came around. We get led out, do all the paperwork, whatever, and now we must ride to Manzini from Matapa, which is like maybe 15-20 minutes away, to the magistrate's court there. Now, I was put in the back of the police van. I was the only female that was booked in that night in terms of arrests that were made. Everybody else was male. I got put in the back of that police van with like 10 other guys. Do you understand? That, and there was literally nothing that I could do about it. Like, there were literally 3 cops sitting in the front driving that police van, and then I got taken to the, I was the only female. Would it really have killed for one police officer maybe to stay behind or even go to the back and then I can sit with the 2 in the front? Like, why would you put me in the back with like men? Like 10 men, like ninya manje. I'm just there, like anything could have happened. And I literally just like, I was quiet, and all the way to Manzini. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you guys about the rats. Now, these are rats. You know the ones that they always talk about that they see in Alex? Those big ones? My baby. I must have seen about 2 or 3 that night. Just when I was sitting and talking to my friends at the front, like before I got led down to the cells, I saw them running, because they, like, from where I was sitting, there was like a bathroom not far from there, and I think it was the bathroom that the cops used. And then there was like some holding cells at the top, and then you went down some stairs and there were more at the bottom. And where I eventually got led to was like right at the bottom, so I wasn't in the immediate ones that were right behind the counter that I was being kept at before I got taken down. And they were just cruising. You could see these things were at home. I saw about 2 or 3 of them, no lie. And mind you, they've taken away my shoes, so I'm walking around and now I see rats. And then there was just a lot that happened that night. So anyways, I get chucked into the back with these guys, and I thank God to this day that nothing happened. But can you imagine? Like, how do you put a girl in the back with like 10 men that she doesn't know, that don't know her? They're in there for a reason. Okay, it may not be like that, but still, like the fear that you have as a woman, because you don't trust anyone. And like, maybe once one gets it in their mind to do it, they'll all be like, nah, fuck it. Do you know what I mean? So anyways, we ride to Manzini, and to my horror, my very respectable uncle, my mom's older brother, is the one that had to come and pay bail for me. He's the one that got the lawyer that spoke on my behalf. I had to pay about 2,000 at the time. It was my first offense, but like I had to pay about 2 grand fine. And yeah, I had to face my uncle, who is literally the most proper person I've ever met in my life. And I had to face him. And the only thing he said to me was, how, Mshana, so I am not. The shame. I felt so bad. And like, it's not even like I was drunk and like, honestly, if I had been drunk and belligerent and out of control, I would have been okay with that, because I would have been like, okay, but now it's like I literally had 2 lousy drinks and then this happened. Like, I was so hacked, guys. I had to pay that money. I had to now face my mother. I've still got the stuff in the boot that I was sent to take home by the time I had my turn and I had paid and I was out from like 10 in the morning. It was just such a horrible experience. I definitely will never, ever, ever be on the wrong side of the law again, because wow, like even just those few hours that I had to spend down in the cells, it was horrible. It was horrible. It was smelly. It was scary. And then getting put in the back of that van with all those men, like that was triggering. And then yeah, and then the embarrassment of my uncle having to come and bail me out, and then having to explain to my mom, and then now I had to explain to my dad why my Koko Epunya doesn't have her milk and all the stuff that he sent for her, because they were expecting me Saturday morning. Now I have to explain to them that I got arrested and what I got arrested for. Like, it was just a lot of drama that I didn't need, and honestly, it was not The punishment did not fit the crime, honestly. So yeah, guys, that was the night I got arrested. Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things literally where it's like vele. Like I got arrested for drunken driving. So yeah, that's why I think it completely put me off of alcohol. Like I drink now, but I'm very light on fuel because yeah, but thank God like things are digital now. Like, cause back then it was really shady. But of course, like I said, I didn't know that I could actually ask for a blood test. So it is what it is. Anyways, guys, we're at the end of our story time. I'm gonna go to bed now. Guys, thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the story time. Yeah, I can't say that I have a lot of story times lined up for you guys because honestly my life is really not that exciting. But yeah, if anything else comes up, if I think of anything, I will let you guys know. Please don't forget to comment down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Tell a Hun to tell a Hun to come and join the family. I love you guys. I will see you soon. Bye.